following program may contain coarse language, suggestive dialogue, and discussion of violent imagery and sexual situations. It is intended for mature listeners who can tell the difference between facts and opinions.
Welcome to this episode of the Toonami Faithful podcast. I'm your host Kuro, and I do not have a clever quip today because I just don't. I got nothing for you guys except my sparkling personality. And with me today, I have.
Hey, hi. How you doing? Social media, superstar, whatever else I do with the stream and everything. Hi, I'm Steven. Hope you're doing well.
We don't have Sketch with us today. We do have a very special guest.
Hi, thanks for having me on. I'm Sam, also known as Sam0299. I host the Toonami Squad podcast sessions. I'm also a graphic designer for Toonami Squad, do some video editing too, and I also have been archiving Toonami content since late 2022. On my channel. So yeah, once again, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's great to have you. And you actually, before we started recording, you'd mentioned something to me that I thought might be fun to share with the class, so to speak. The traditional marathons that we seem to get every year around the holidays. You had postulated what you thought they might be, and I was guessing possibly an Invincible Fight Girl, but I liked your ideas, so why don't you share with the class?
So I just asked, because we always get like marathons at the end of the year. Like there's always like two marathons, like one on Christmas, one on New Year. So I was just tossing around the questions. What are the shows that y'all think will be the marathons this year? And I was tossing Dragon Ball Daima and Dawn to Dawn, mainly just because it's Dragon Ball and Toonami always marathons a Dragon Ball show. Like give them a minute, it'll happen eventually. And I also said Don the Don just because I really love Don the Don, and I really want them to marathon it just to give us an excuse to rate the page in Don the Don stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, cue us up nicely for it coming back next year, because it has to come back next year. They can't leave us on a cliffhanger. I don't do well with cliffhangers, guys. Not at all. Yeah, that, or maybe Mashle. Who knows? Steven, any ideas? Any predictions for the marathons here?
What if they do? What if they do both seasons of Blue Exorcist?
I would love that.
Yeah, they run them back to back.
Possible.
So one Saturday is season 2, one Saturday is season 3. And it's like, hey, you're getting hyped for this whole thing. Season 3 is about snow. You could say that's about holidays. That's the winter. If they think like that, I would like that, because then that means, maybe they're thinking like some higher level stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's just all the season. It's like snow. Maybe that fits. Who knows? Otherwise, they're just gonna put their like top best shows in there, or they're gonna throw stuff they own in there. To be like Paul, they're going to throw whatever they want in. But, they're going to do what they want to do. It's like we're here to enjoy Toonami, and it's fun to, look at it and think, hey, would they put this in? Would they put that in? But, hey, they're going to do what they're going to do. We kind of like it. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I tend to be pretty inconsistent with when I watch them. I used to have this tradition of wrapping gifts while I would watch the Toonami marathons, because it's like you can sort of half pay attention and then half pay attention to what you're doing, which is getting your Christmas gifts ready, but it usually depends on the timing. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do it again this year, maybe not, you know. But speaking of Blue Exorcist, I thought since we had Sam here, we give him the opportunity to say anything he wanted to about the last season, all the drama with Izumo and our our big revelation about Shima being a spy, and any other tidbits you wanted to share about what you thought about the last season. So the floor is yours, sir.
So I I just kind of like, I wouldn't say I didn't like the season, but it definitely like had me like like asking why a lot. Cause like, okay, first off, like this is focused on Izumo, like her issues and everything, and I understand why we should care for her, but I feel like the show before this season has not done enough to give me a reason to care about her. Because I mean, like, I'm sorry, like the entire show from like season 1 and 2, like she's just been um like that bitchy girl to me in the show. Like sometimes I forget her name. It's like, oh, it's the girl who whines a lot. And just to like have, and yeah, like I understand like she has like tragic like her backstory, like, but I don't know. I still in the end of that season found it really hard to care for her, and it just also made me scratch my head how like they're there to save her, and all of a sudden it's like, no, I don't want to be saved. It's like, I'll do this myself. And when she did that, I'm like, just leave her, man. Like I don't I don't care. It was like she's
Hey.
asking for it at that point. But then like
Sam's got like a low threshold for patience. Like, I don't deal with this bullshit. Fine.
honestly, yeah, I was like, there's so much BS. I don't care. It's like if she wants to, she wants to sacrifice herself. Go ahead. Like we gave her plenty of chances to get saved. But then the other thing that was killing me was that before this season, I actually was really liking Shima. One of my favorite scenes from the second season was him and Rin having that bromance. And then and it's funny because then I remember that random scene where he just decided, oh, let's go home, like in the middle of the action. I'm just like, why? And then like when it came to the season, I guess it kind of makes sense. Like I never understood what was his deal. Like eventually we learn his deal, but I was like, brother, like, why are you doing all this? And the fact that he was doing all that while he still had a smile on his face, while he was still doing that typical like bro persona, and it's just like like I don't want to, well, he murdered, later we find out he didn't murder them, but like at the time it looks like he murders Izumo's what do you call them, familiars or like
Hmm.
summons,
Yeah, her
and
familiar.
he like murders her familiars, and he just does it with that stupid smile on his face. And at some point I'm like, I hate you. Like, literally went from one of my favorite characters to one of the worst characters. And then it's funny because like I'm thinking to myself, this guy probably read Naruto, saw Sasuke, and was like, I want to do that. But then like then when the last two episodes played and they're telling his family, oh, like he's Illuminati now, is like, actually he's a double agent. I'm literally like, I am like dying so hard. I'm like, are you are you serious? Freaking double agent? What what is like it just, it still doesn't make sense to me. And all this has done now is like, A, made me like not like him as much as I used to, and B, well, now he's got like he's got an like a I don't know the right word, like an aura of suspicion with him, to where like, oh yeah, like he's double crossing them for the true cross, like he's double crossing the Illuminati for the true cross. But it's like now it's kind of become a point of like, we can't trust you anymore, and it's hard to tell which side he's on, and he's uh yeah. But I was just like, when that season came to an end, I was just like, honestly, good riddance. The one thing I will say though, when what's his name? I forgot his name. The scientist dude. When like when he
Getaway.
finally Getaway, when he finally like got like put down, I was immediately like R.I.P. Bozo. It's like I hate you so much. Thank God. It's like
We
I
can
needed
definitely
a
agree on
win.
that. Yeah, we all needed it.
I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Uh, but overall, I would say like I wouldn't say this is the worst thing from Blue Exorcist. I feel like the worst thing is all that anime original stuff in the first season. But I would put this above that.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Very harsh critique. I think Steven can probably relate to some of those points. He was really frustrated about a couple things during that season. I don't know if you heard.
A lot.
Yeah. And it happens to actually be one of Laser's favorite, just to go back on that. He likes the characterization arcs and, the heavy complexity and all of that. And I think my only issue with this season was just all the drama, but Chima, I still don't trust him. I don't know
Yeah,
about you. I still don't trust
I
Chima.
don't trust them either. That's actually one scene that I like to where like where they have the meeting with the
Mephisto.
Mephisto,
Hmm.
and like they're like, "Can you all trust him?" And they said, "Sure," but then they get out of that meeting. It was like, "You actually think we trust him?" It was like, "Get out of here." We only said that just in front of him, which is like, okay, at least these people have common sense. Uh,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then like. And then, like, yet again, like, because Izumo, like, it's like even when she's actually opening up after everything that happened, she still has to like be so rude about it, like opening up to Shiemi about like her little sister and all that, and she's still like, I hate you. It was like, shut up, you're always doing being nice and all that. And I'm literally like, can we take her back? But yeah.
Well, Sam, you are not being sent on any rescue missions anytime soon. I think we've established.
I mean, like if some of the later stuff like does better for her character, like I'll it remains to be seen. I will say like the one scene that she had in the first episode of season 4 is like, hey, she's actually being a good person. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you'll definitely see a different side of Izumo now that she's let go of what all the burdens she was carrying. But I think that's a great segue into this new season. So let's just get into it. Episode 1, which begins with an enigmatic scene of what is very clearly Yukio standing on top of a building. Hold on to your hats, folks. So the Knights of the True Cross Council are holding a discussion amongst all the higher ranks to discuss the events that we learned of last season with the Illuminati and such, and to establish countermeasures against all the machinations of their new foe. The situation's pretty dire, as we learned from this, and there's a heavy risk of all humans being made aware of the existence of demons, which just devolve into complete chaos. Mephisto, in the meantime, is suspected by Angel and maybe some others being responsible for the moles who keep giving information to Illuminati, which who knows, it could be true at this point. But Mephisto also points out that he's been risking his own body to keep the Gehenna Gate closed as long as possible, and he reveals unhealed wounds on himself. This is a little interesting because I don't know. I read this in a couple different ways upon rewatch, and the first time I watched it, the first time I saw it, I thought that, oh, he is wounded from casting whatever he needed to cast to stop time. But now I read it as he's unable to heal because he has that like stop time ability, and it's being used on himself so that he can use it on the gate, and that's why he can't heal because the time is stopped on him. I don't know. Am I overthinking it, guys? I don't know. It seemed kind of like that was where that was going.
I'm gonna
It
be
seemed okay.
honest. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of forgot that scene existed. I
I
was
feel
like,
like it's
all
a pretty important
right.
scene, though. It seems very important because that's the whole the whole gate being closed or open is what the goal of the Illuminati is, and what the goal of the True Cross is, to keep all the demons from pouring through the Ghana gate. So I was paying extra special attention because I'm an A+ student.
That's good.
It
It
is
seems
like
like
that-
just a weird way to do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like that one scene because it happened in the Illuminati saga. So it's like, oh yeah, I remember it now. But it was like because it was everything with like Izumo and Shima. I was like, I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, back with the X-Wires, Rin and the other cram school students are informed by Mephisto that the exorcism certification exams will be held sooner than originally planned due to the immediate demand for more exorcists. And they also will need to resubmit their Meister applications. You remember those pesky things where they get to pick what specialty they want to do? So I guess we all get to go over all of that again, but it actually makes sense given that we have certain students undergoing certain changes. Rin notes that Yukio's been out a lot lately. Like, late. He's been out late a lot lately. And Shimi has also taken note that there is a difference in Yukio. I wonder what could be happening with him. Izumo, meanwhile, has a frank discussion with Ryuji about resubmitting their Meister applications, and she, matter of factly, points out that she has nothing left. She's lost everything, and the only thing she has now is to become an exorcist, and she's almost cheerful about it. It's clear she's free from the burden she was carrying and is ready to embrace being an exorcist now. So good for you, Izumo. I guess. Under such sad circumstances, we still love to see a girl thrive. Mephisto gathers all of the exorcists around and explains to them that there is an urgent need for an influx of more exorcists, even though they're afraid this means there will be a ding to how efficient they'll be, which I can't see how there wouldn't if they're trying to rush these tests. Luen Lightning is appointed as a new instructor, impressing all of the exorcists, and he even impresses everybody through, like quick deleting a couple of demons, because that's how he rolls. He's a cool dude. He ends up taking over Shura's class, and lots of students come to learn from him until he drives them away by proclaiming they all need to become friends with the demons. They just walk out of his class, which is really disrespectful, I gotta say. After class, Lightning gets Rin and Ryuji to help clean his personal living quarters, and Ryuji just continues to be impressed by Lightning's abilities, but he admits that he's struggling with the fact that he's lost sight of his reasons for becoming an exorcist. But since he's inspired by Lightning's very efficient summoning ability and quick death verses, he basically begs to become his apprentice. Initially, Lightning declines this request, and after some hemming and hawing, of course, he asks for the Coma Sword, but it doesn't seem like a serious ask, and Ryuji, meanwhile, in his head, he's like, I can't give him the Coma Sword. But before any of it becomes relevant, Rin gets sucked into what looks like a mimic to me, for all of you Dragon Quest fans. And so a bunch of cards get spilled on the floor, and it becomes a test for Ryuji in this sort of death verse game. He basically has to counter the card attempting to summon with the correct counter, with the correct, like, shut it down card, I guess. He does pretty well for a little bit, and then just as a friend of our Impure King starts to take over in the space, Lightning quickly dispatches it by ripping the card up, and he tells Ryuji, even though he's impressed with his abilities, that he has to remember the most basic rule, which is you just basically get rid of the summoning circle. Poor Ryuji. He was nervous under pressure. Let's give him this one. In fact, he will give him this one because he does allow him to work as his assistant, but he says, I'm not going to teach anything. You're just going to have to absorb what you can from me. But he's still basically obsessed with the Coma Sword. So there we are, episode 1, setting us up for a couple different plot points. Any thoughts about this episode? I'll start with you, Sam.
I'm trying to remember. I found Lightning to be whimsical, but also like I feel like he has something else going on, just for his fascination of wanting the Coma Sword.
He's a deep
Like
well.
he is, and I have a feeling because they're also like, oh, like he's such a rarity, and he's actually gonna teach at the school and all that. I'm like, okay, there has to be a reason behind this. And I also just found the scene with Ryuichi to be kind of funny because it's like, oh, it's a game to where oh, like if you flip this, what was it? It was like the cards, like if you touch one of the cards or whatever, like different types of demons start coming out. And I just found it funny. This like, look at he has all these guns, and it's like there's only one way to solve this, and like each one of those is like a party gag. Um, if we're talking about a good like a good, I don't know if I should say reintroduction because it's like didn't this like come out straight after 3 or but I feel like it was a fine start to the new season. I feel like episode 2 kind of does a better job as a season start, but we'll get there. Um Sorry, I'm
It's
I'm
hard because
blanking
there's
out.
not. I feel like with
There's
a
not a lot.
entry,
That's
yeah, there's not
really
a lot to really get into deep. It's
I
more of
mean,
a shallow. It's a very shallow. I feel like entry episodes are like that. They just kind of go wide and not deep.
yeah, I mean, like if anything, I'll say is like, yeah, like we also kind of see a bit of change with Izmo, as I said this in the last one. It was like, oh, like she's actually kind of having I don't want to say bonding moment, but clearly having like a moment with Ryuji, and
Yeah,
like, and it's like,
I feel
wow,
like that
she's
was a
act,
bonding moment. Yeah, I would agree with that.
yeah, and it was just funny because she's like talking normally, and I'm literally thinking, wow, she's actually like participating in the conversation and not being mean. And then as soon as I thought that, he literally says, "Is like, wow, you're not being your usual self today." She's like, "Excuse me." I was
She
really like,
blushed too. She blushed.
I was
She's
really like, ah, there it
bashful.
is.
Yeah, yeah. She doesn't do well under any kind of, I guess,
Uh,
compliment.
Yeah, another thing I'll say, and like, and this will go more with like episode 2, like when we get to episode 2, but it's also like, I know Yukio has a thing going on after what happened in season 2, and they touched a bit on it in season 3, but he still seemed somewhat fine. But it's like the minute season 4 begins, it's like he is like a diet Sasuke to where
Yeah.
it just it literally he's got the Sasuke energy, like the dark, like he's got the look on him. He's like, I need to get stronger and everything, which is more of an episode 2 thing. It was kind of there in the first episode, but it was just like the tonal whiplash between episodes with or between seasons. But yet again, these seasons came out like back to back. I'm pretty sure I didn't watch these when they came out. I'm watching the first time I'm seeing is through Toonami. Um, but it was literally just like such a whiplash. It was like, okay, he seemed, I wouldn't say he was good in the last season, but he seemed normal. But then like as soon as this season start, it's like the comparison I made is like that one shot of Sasuke with his hand over his face and he's got like that eye and he's like like smiling maniacally and it's like that's the same energy. That's like the exact same energy I'm getting.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because that is almost the same thing that Shimi was pointing out. She seems to think that there's something else happening with him, that he's putting on a facade. As he smiles really big, but it's not matching, how
Yeah.
he's feeling. She can tell. She's perceptive, but she of course isn't thinking. She's not going to think the worst. She wants to believe Yukio so badly. God knows why. I don't see what she sees, but I guess he must be a pretty good fucking tutor. I don't know.
I mean, I would also assume she kind of thinks of him like family in a way because I've
Yeah.
been there since the beginning. I don't want to say relationships because she's still trying to figure that out. Um, but
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, I mean, it's a family thing too. Even she asked Rin because it's like Rin should know this better than anyone else.
Yeah. Steven, what'd you think about episode 1?
It was a fun episode. I out of the other first episodes, I would say this is the strongest one. It gave backstory. It gave understanding of why the characters do what they're going to do and what is coming forward. Um, it it fulfilled all the qualities, checked all the lists in my mind, which is rare. Not too many things do that. But yeah, Yukio being in it, you know how I feel about him.
How
He's
so
an
we all feel.
idiot. He's an idiot. He does not need to be in the show. He's like a wrestler that comes in and he's like, I'm gonna do a hero turn at any minute if you don't trust me. I'm like, you know what? This guy doesn't even need to be in it. But
He's a foil. That's what they need him
yeah,
for. They need him as a foil for Rin at some point.
they need him. Yeah, they need him. That he's like a page turner in a book. That's all you are, bud. And it's like then he's got like every girl hanging on him. Like, oh, yeah, I got issues with him, man. I got issues with him, and I shouldn't have. I'm a grown adult, and I got issues with an anime guy. Aside from that,
I mean, that's all of us if we're being real.
yeah, it's a fun way of I don't how do I put this? It's a fun way of telling a story that we already know. And you could see that they're doing it. It feels like the same thing all over again, but it does feel different that they're trying to do something that these characters did grow somehow.
Mhm.
I don't know where it is, but they did grow somehow. Here's the one question I did have: are they still in high school, or is this like middle school?
Yeah, it's they're all about 15 years old.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So maybe they didn't grow mentally or intellectually, but they grew somehow, maybe
That's
emotionally.
some character emotional growth. Yeah, emotionally. Yeah.
Um, it is what it is, but it feels like to me that they are growing somewhat. Yukio, maybe not. But somehow along in there they did. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to say. I was impressed by it. Um, I'm still looking forward to seeing where this goes and how it is because you see stuff on the internet, you see tons of different things, and it's like, okay, maybe this is a spoiler, maybe that's a spoiler. With me,
Yeah.
if I avoid it enough, I'm okay with it. But if I see it once, that's it. Because I remember almost everything. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, but
There's a lot of um what do you call it? The ad for this season has some it's pretty fun. It's pretty enticing, I think. I feel
okay,
like it does bait you pretty well into the season.
okay,
The
I
one
mean,
that
luck,
Toonami showed.
lucky for me because I don't like follow like a lot of like I guess anime fandom. So it's like I'm blind with Blue Exorcist completely. Like it's best like and I don't see a whole lot of spoilers. Like unless it's like a really big show that everyone's talking about that gets trending a whole lot. 9 times out of 10, I don't see it. So in my case, I haven't seen anything.
Yeah. I did
But
see like screenshots as the season was playing out because I was watching pretty close to the simuldub very eagerly. So I did see like as it was playing, I saw some, but I was very careful about season 5 to avoid those. So when I watched it, it was all fresh to me, and hopefully it'll be all fresh to you because I'm assuming we'll get season 5 as well. It would be strange if they didn't keep going.
I'm assuming that we have the rest at this point if we're
Yeah.
already this deep, because I kept assuming that at some point we're gonna stop, but they just kept going, and I'm just like, okay,
Not complaining.
I guess
Wait,
we
this
got
is season
not
5?
complaining. No,
Yeah.
this is 4. No, this is 4.
This is
Uh,
4. He said
this is 4.
yes, this is 4. There is a season 5. There's a season after this.
It's weird.
Oh.
It's weird they organize this. I think this and the next are technically season 4, but they're like 2 cores.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. You can call it whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
It's
fine.
because they released all these back to back. So it's like they had Illuminati, then Beyond the Snow, then I forgot the name of the other one, but like they literally like released like one after the other.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, let's move on to episode 2, which opens with a conversation between Lightning and Shura, and he pointedly asks her about her familiar, but she plays coy. Put a tab in that, folks. That's going to be important later. Yukio, in the meantime, is he's pretty stressed. He doesn't understand how he activated his demonic abilities, and he's clearly concerned he will lose everything, meaning his standing in the order should the True Cross find out. And he's also convinced himself that his abilities are not hereditary because otherwise the order would have found them, right? So, in an attempt to investigate the true nature of the demonic power that is manifested inside of him, he begins a series of dangerous stunts, putting his life in danger in order to trigger it. This is one of those scenes, and I want to point it out because he when he summons the sylphs, the water demons, the animation got a little weird, and I know we talked a little bit about this the last time we talked about Blue Exorcist, that when they switch studios, there's a little bit of dip in the quality and animation.
Oh,
and you'll
there
see
there
it-
is a dip.
Yeah, you'll see it in certain scenes, and this scene, it was really noticeable, like in this specific scene. I was just like, ugh, I cringed a little bit. It's not
It was
egregious, but it's not great.
noticeable last
It
season
was
too, especially
noticeable.
near the end where it was just PowerPoints.
Yeah, well, I
Hmm.
mean, just some inconsistencies in character drawings for sure. And then when you pan out and go to wide shots, they just really, really draw back on detail. It's not great. But
Interesting.
anyway,
I have not seen that.
yeah, I feel like maybe I'm just watching too closely, but it was noticeable to me, and I was like, that's not great. It doesn't really completely take away from your watching experience. I think it's just something that's like, yeah. In any case, yeah, he tries to put his life in danger, and it doesn't work. So I guess it's gonna get worse from here, guys. Buckle up.
Did
Um,
did anyone else feel they needed to put a suicide warning in front of that episode?
yeah, yeah. We'll have to discuss that. It's the elephant in the room that there's
Oh,
definitely
I'm
some
sorry if I
suicide
jumped the
idea.
gun.
No, it's fine. There's definitely it's tough because you're watching it and you see that his suicide attempt, his attempt to test his powers in these dangerous ways are basically indistinguishable from suicide attempts. And while we, the audience, know from what we know, it's an attempt. This part of an effort to trigger his demonic survival instincts. It's obviously that imagery. It just makes for a pretty grim episode to watch because you're seeing it alongside his obvious self-loathing. He's in a very dark mental place. So, and he's yeah. It is what it is, but. In any case, put a tab in that. In an attempt to investigate, yes. Got I checked my notes. The Ryuji, in the meantime, is being kept busy by Lightning, so the boys have to go off and study without him. And Kotokomaru, in the meantime, is pretty much crushing it, trying to make his demon identification app. Yeah, man, that's pretty awesome. I see you, Kotokomaru, stepping into a new you. Speaking of stepping into a new you, Ryuji has a new look. He has ditched the long hair and the rooster hair dye look and is going for a shorter, more uniform look, more serious, I guess in cohesion with his new goal as follower of Lou and Lightning, who he admits to have a man crush on. It's a pretty funny little lighthearted moment between the guys. um but Yukio, of course, as we mentioned, he continues throughout the episode with his dangerous experiments, which, as we mentioned, look a lot like suicide attempts. He throws himself off a building. He puts a gun up to his head. I just want everybody to know, please talk to someone. Do not isolate yourself if you're feeling this way. Talk to somebody. That's my PSA. Back with our girl Shiami. There's an interesting moment where Shiami is telling her mother about, getting ready for her exorcist exam, and her mother seems to be discouraging her from taking it. Wonder what that's about. We won't have time to think about it because Shiami and Ren are sent on a mission together. Love to see the two of them together. They're going to exorcise some demons out of a rundown house, but they have to do it without damaging it. Which is going to be funny because the house looks a lot more dangerous than the little demons that are in there do. While they're inside, Rin senses something else in the house, but before he can investigate, he falls through the floor alongside Shiami. And he's staked to the floor with a big fat stick through his leg. It's pretty gruesome. And unfortunately, she left her healing supplies behind, so there isn't really anything they can do except wait for help. Which they wait a long time for, as it is nightfall and they're still stuck there with Rin using his flames to keep them warm. There actually is a very sweet moment shared between them where Rin admits to liking Chi. We know he's saying he likes her, but he tells her he knows that she likes Yukio, and she denies that it's anything more than friends. She just basically says, "No, I like you both. I like Yukio because of this." And it's pretty funny because Ren's like, "Oh, I thought you liked him," and it didn't even occur to this girl that like meant like romantic, like, oh, to be a teenager again. I didn't miss any of that shit. Before we can explore this adorable moment of awkward teenage romance further, the Koltars appear, and so Rin just takes the easy way out and uses his flame to burn the whole house down.
Because
As
they
they're-
were trying to say not to burn it down.
Yeah, well, it worked out. It worked out for both of them because they get out this way, and Shiami, of course, as they're walking out together, she becomes embarrassed by the intimacy between the two of them, but then she rallies, she pulls herself together, and is able to focus on healing him. We go back to Yukio, who regains his consciousness, awash in blue flames and in a crater. And he's in a pretty precarious situation mentally before he can take any further action and put himself in a more dire situation. The episode ends with Rin and Yukio being called into Mephisto's office, and apparently Shura is missing, and they are going to go find her in El Mori. Yeah, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. First
That
of
was
all,
hard to watch.
it was really difficult to watch. Yukio's mental state is very tenuous, and he seems to be carrying this level of self-loathing, which is interesting considering his brother, who is an exorcist with demonic abilities, he sees is accepted, but he can't seem to accept that in himself. And instead of seeking the support he so desperately needs, he's isolating himself as he tests his powers in increasingly dangerous ways, which, as I mentioned, are pretty indistinguishable from a real suicide attempt. And he does have a moment where he's falling and he's like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. But it's just really hard to not see that overlap with his own self-loathing. Yeah. So let's talk about it. Sam, you are up.
Um, kind of like what I said with the last episode. It was just like he seemed fine one moment, and it's like the next moment, all of a sudden, this man is like having an identity crisis, and I literally just keep saying this is a Sasuke situation. It was like, cause he's wanting to go down a path, like he wants more power, essentially. And I clearly have seen other shows before, and I've seen this type of character arc before. So it's like this only leads one way, and I'm not liking where this is leading.
Hmm.
And then later, where it's like, okay, like the when he summoned the water, like okay, they look like Zoras from Zelda to me. I don't know if anyone's played Zelda, but he summons those Zoras to like drown him, and it's like, okay, that's not the worst thing. And then he does the building jump, which it was in the promo, so I already knew to expect it, but it was like, okay.
Hard to
But
watch.
the yeah, but then he pulled the gun out, and I was like, okay, no, this is too much now. Like, at some point, it's like, okay, I don't know, man, you need help. That's like when he did that, like, you need help. Like, you like definitely you got to talk this out, but at the same time, this is a shonen, and and they'd rather fight each other than talk things out. So I'm already assuming that this is not going to lead. Um, this isn't going to be a very pleasant ending. And and one thing I forgot to mention in regards to the last episode, uh, they cut the opening from the beginning, and I'm kind of sad because like usually at least for the first episode they'll give the full opening. But like judging from the opening, at least what I saw of it, I was like clearly yet again the Naruto comparisons to me. It was like clearly this looks like one person's going towards the light, the other person sinking in the darkness.
Yeah, the
That
imagery is pretty stark in the opening. You see Yukio in the dark, and then you see Rin standing in the snow in the light.
ironic. The son of Satan is the one that's moving towards the light.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then to move on to the whole Rin and Shiemi side plot, it was just like,
Wait, put a tab in that. I want
hmm?
to hear about what Steven thinks. And also Laser just joined us. So we're talking about Yukio's dark side and his not
Oh boy.
suicide attempts. But before you hear from Laser, let's hear from Steven about the Yukio drama.
Yeah, what's wrong with that kid? That boy needs to be slapped. Like, dude.
I just imagine that in Hank Hill voice right now.
Yeah.
That boy ain't right.
He is not definitely okay. I mean, you need to tell Rin, like, he's not going to tell, like, let's give it all what it says. Rin is his mom, and it's like he's not going to let Mama Rin know about any of this stuff. Shiemi knows about something, but she's concerned. Like, she knows that Yukio puts this mask up, and he's more open, I guess. I don't know. He's harsher towards his brother about this thing, but he's using the mask on Rin, so that's probably means trouble. But that's like he's that boy needs, I don't know. He doesn't need a therapy session. That boy needs to put in the insane asylum. That he's got some stuff down there. And I do want to say, yeah, they should have put some type of warning up that said, hey, this is something that's not right, or this character is going down a path that, not going down a path, but saying that if you
Just
need
this
help,
this
right?
episode, yeah, like, and if you need help.
Contains instances of suicidal
Yeah.
ideation. If you need help, please call this number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they wouldn't have. I mean, yeah, they do warnings for the light for people with seizures. I would think that
Yeah.
they could put in a suicide warning as well.
It's weird because the ways that he does it, it's like he's going to drown himself, which is like, You don't ever want to do that. That is like the worst. You want to say like, what is the worst death out there? It is drowning, because that is something that it's like a physical pain. He's trying to shoot himself, which, I mean, I understand like what you're trying to do, but dude, there are better ways to do that. Just like, stub your toe on something. That'll do it. He has to get to a point where he doesn't know. It's that fight or flight thingy, right? He has to get to a point where he doesn't know, and then it activates, right? Stub
Yeah.
your toe wrong. Dude, it happens to everyone. You don't know when it's going to happen. Eventually something happens, and all of a sudden, you're turning into a demon. The final one, when he hits the ground, the stupid thing is with that one is he doesn't want to do it, so that's the immediate fear that he doesn't want to die. He blacks out, he wakes up, he goes, "What just happened? You survived the stupid fall. There's a crater around you in flames." Dude, if you can't understand what happened at that point, you do not deserve these powers. I mean, I'm betting and it's more than what we just seen. But so far, it feels like he's completely about having the demon's blood. And so that could be saying that like he hates Ren somehow. Dude, your brother's fine. So will you be. Forget about it. Move on with your life. You're a teacher at 15, dude.
Yeah.
You have a lot of stuff in life that's worth living. Not, what you're trying to figure out that you got some blood in you that you don't like.
I think there's also some interesting point that Yukio is pretty savvy to, that it's not like something he can tap into the way Rin taps into his. It's something that seems to be taking over him selectively. That's what his experiment is telling him, that there's something inside of him that is coming out when his life's in danger. And because he otherwise, this is something that would have, under testing, been found earlier. So I think that bears in mind. But since we have you, Laser, yeah, let's talk about Yukio's dark side. We mentioned how,
God damn it,
like,
Yukio.
yeah, the suicide, like how is just barely this side of suicide attempts. It was really hard to watch.
He's making some incredibly stupid decisions. Like, what did he think was gonna happen? Either you're gonna die, or, oh, something's going on. Neither of those are the outcomes you want. And if it does turn out there's something else, of course, what are you gonna do about it? Because you're clearly not willing to go reach out. Maybe go reach out, but he's too prideful. He can't do that. He's Yukio. He's the special, greatest hero ever. He can't get help. That would mean he's weak. He can't do that. Oh my god.
There's definitely a lot of self-loathing in there. Yeah.
Oh, incredibly. It's pride, but I think it's pride in covering for self-loathing and just not knowing what he is, afraid of what he is. All those things he threw at Ren early on, they're now coming back and pointing at him. And I guarantee you that's running in his head.
Oh yeah, exactly. He's a reflection of his twin right now, and he can't handle it. Well, I don't want to end about this on the dark note, so let's talk about Shiami and Rin, because that was so adorable. I was just losing it. I was like, oh, he told her, and now she knows, and now it's out there. It's out there. She knows he likes her, like, romantic-like, and I think it's really funny. I've been saying all this time that Shiami is so, she's so socially awkward that she didn't pick up the signs. Like, she had friend zoned him only because it didn't occur to her that romance was an option, and now Rin has opened this door, so she's got to make a decision about what she's going to do about the open door. So what do you think about this scene? Let's start with Steven. Please tell me
she's gonna slam that door. She's gonna slam that door right on, Rin.
Horrid.
Yeah, it's not that she can't handle it. I think she can. She's strong enough to do that. She's just too nervous of a girl to do that, and I don't. I think she's there, or she wants to keep that friendship because she thinks if she destroys that friendship, she'll go back to having no friends,
Oh,
and
that's a good
that
point.
That's a
that's the
very
thing
good thought.
that's the thing she's afraid of, right?
Yeah, she doesn't want to lose her friends.
Yeah, that's why she friend zoned him early on. She loves her friends. Just what's going on with Danadan, with Okarun, right? He just wants friends. He doesn't think about any of that stuff. Sure, she kind of likes him and everything, but now she heard that he likes her, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh, it's like, does that change everything? At that point, when they were like in that house fell on them and all that stuff happened to them, they should have kissed right there. That would have been the best ending of the whole show. That would have been everything.
Yeah, we're good, guys. We're good.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
We're
move
done.
They
flames,
stay
take
stuck
this.
behind. They stay stuck under the building. That's the end of the show, y'all. Roll the credits.
The whole thing burned up. That's it. It's done. End of the show.
Oh my god.
That was my ultimate goal, was to get them together. So
Yeah,
my
I
work
mean,
is done.
in all of these things, it is together, and I think that could be the author's wishes, the director's wishes to do that. I'm not totally sure. I haven't read any of the manga or seen any more of the anime, so I don't know. But it seems like those two are like destined to be together. Hopefully, it's not Yukio in there because I don't want him to become in this triangle of love. But still, it's weird that Rin can't say it, but he said it. And the door's open. She's gonna slam it right in his face. He's gonna be regretting it. But that's what those two lovebirds are gonna do. And eventually, one of them's gonna get strong enough, because I've seen it play out in all types of media. One of them's gonna get strong enough to go and just kiss him. One of them's gonna do it. Either some way or another, they're gonna do it. There's been times before in the past seasons that they had time to do it. Hopefully, they do it this season, that this romantic bud starts blossoming and forming, and so something happens. But
The long, winding road of the shonen romance has begun.
yes, it started. The engine's running. It's warm enough. Something's gonna happen. It's called Beyond the Snow, so maybe they're joining up together, and they have to keep warm somehow. Cave? I don't know. They were born in a cave, so something might be happening. But yeah, I think she's gonna slam that door right on him. But something's gonna happen.
Well, Sam?
So I have a bit of like an inside. I don't know if it's an inside joke, but it's something that I say a lot. To where like whenever I watch something and I see two characters that are clearly like meant for each other, or it just looks
Mhm.
like they're getting a little too close, like I tend to scream. Well, not scream at all. I'll put in all caps. God, just kiss already. And it's just if the characters are teenagers, I say, God, just kiss already. If the characters are older, then I say, God, just fuck already. But like that entire scene was literally just me going, God, just kiss already. Uh, but
You'll like it, Chibi, I promise. You'll like it. It'll be great.
but like I think what kind of surprised me is because like this is shonen, and a lot of shonens I've seen before when they have these, relationships, or these, clearly meant to be relationships, either go one of two ways. Either they just don't happen, or all of a sudden, the end of the series, there's a time skip, and hey, look, they're together. How they end up together? Who knows? Up to you. Like, so because most of the time in these shonen stories, you have that one trope to where like, oh, the girl likes the guy, but the guy doesn't obviously has no like feelings. So let's just see. like 500 episodes later if the guy actually starts to feel anything, or maybe she confesses, or just nothing happens. So I was just like, this is a very unshonen like thing to actually have them kind of have mutual feelings. And then like the confess, and it's funny because it's like I'm like half expecting, but also not expecting a confession, because it was like, oh, okay. I mean, like I wasn't expecting it this soon. I thought it'd be like another 300 episodes before we had something like this. And clearly, clearly, it's awkward for them now, because it's like they kind of know each other's feelings.
Mhm.
So it's like things can't stay the same, but at the same time, I'm expecting something to put a pause on it. Either we'll probably the stuff that'll probably keep Ren away for a while, or to have them preoccupied with Shura to even think about each other, or like Shiemi will be like, I want to focus on something else, or that one trope where like the girl has feelings, but she's like, I need to bury these feelings to focus on myself, or whatever,
Mhm.
and all that. So it's like I'm expecting either or, like either like they're too busy with the stuff with Shura to even think about each other, or it's gonna be the trope of she's gonna bury those she's gonna bury those feelings until like she needs to until there needs to be character development. I pretty much like I'm just expecting to put a pause on it, because like that's my assumption, is that I don't think we're good. Like we might move forward a little, but I'm expecting something to pause it, and for them to still kind of be like friends in a way. Like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like I would like for them to be together, because honestly, a lot of characters, but honestly, like I don't know if this is a hot take. I don't watch a lot of shows, but it's like they kind of look like they're meant for each other in the
They
same
have good
way
chemistry.
as they have good chemistry, just like Momo and Okarun. Is because
And they
it's like
bring out
so
they bring out good traits in each other. Like he
yes.
They
brings
do.
out the strength in Shiemi that she doesn't know she has, and Yu hasn't even been able to do that for her.
Yeah, that's like I guess that's the best way of putting it. Is that like it kind of gives me the same vibes as like Momo and Okarun in a way, to where like it like they actually complement each other. Meanwhile,
Mhm.
with most other shows, it's a one-sided feeling. Like it's so rare that you have a mutual like characters that have like a mutual feeling with each other. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm actually like I like it, and I would like to see it progress, but I also understand that we have two whole arcs to get through, so I'm expecting a pause. Like I'm expecting something to pause it.
The
So that's how
long
I
and
feel.
winding road of shonen romance. We are
Yes.
going for it. I
I'm
do
just
love
like
how vulnerable Rin is, though. Like after he admits this, it's really cute to see him.
I honestly like it's weird. Like I have it's like a love-hate relationship with Blue Exorcist, because I actually really like some of the things that it does, but then like there are other things that I don't like. Which season 3, I already went on a rant with that. But it's like I really like the characterization of Rin actually kind of becoming a better person, and then at the same time, like the whole relationship. Like yet again, I was not expecting such a mutual relationship, and then that whole scene where they confess to each other, and I'm like, okay. But yet again, I'm expecting something to put a pause in there.
Yeah. Any thoughts about this budding romance, Laser?
I think they're adorable together. And I know that they keep missing each other, if you will, and I suspect that that's going to be a thing for a while because it's shonen romance.
Sure.
And that's kind of how those go, but
Yep.
because it's also shonen romance, you know it's gonna end up okay at the end.
Yeah. Well, I'm rooting for you, Rin. We're all
Oh
rooting
yeah,
for
My,
you, Rin.
I'm rooting for both of them, honestly.
my the question is that because you say like, oh, it's gonna they're gonna be okay, which I don't doubt it, but it's like, are we actually gonna see them be okay, or are they just gonna all of a sudden time skip and hey, look, they're together now? 'Cause that's what most shonens do.
I don't know that this has a time skip, but I'm also not current with the manga, so I don't
I
know.
mean, like, I don't read the manga either. I
You
was
could have
just
lied
joking
and
Oh,
told
I
us
did.
anything, and I would have believed you.
Yeah, I have the manga quite a ways, just not all the way.
No, yeah, I was just gonna joke because it's like that's
Oh,
I
yeah.
think not like a good example was Naruto. Naruto's so guilty of that, like because in the
Oh my
manga,
god, yeah. Yeah.
because in the manga they just like they had a time skip and he's Hokage. Like they eventually did have a movie which gave Naruto and Hinata that moment that explains how they ended up. But that was an anime original thing that Kishimoto himself did not write. So it's like I kind of somewhat don't count that in a way. But yeah,
It's a good movie.
it really is. I wish other shows would do that kinda. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, now that we've finished our discussion of Blue Exorcist, it looks like we've started an exciting journey, left on a bit of an anxiety-inducing cliffhanger. Our girl Shura is missing. I guess we're just gonna have to wait to find out what happens to her. But Paul has not joined us, so we can move on to talk about Mashle episode 2.
God.
And yes, I want to start off by saying so Wahlberg has entered the chat, and he goes on a bit about the unjust way that society has treated the magicless, and I just really love his use of the word umbrage in that. You don't hear people incorporate that into their vocabulary on the daily.
I take
so-
umbrage with this.
Exactly. It was beautiful, Wahlberg. You're now my new favorite in the show. Rain, of course, is very loyal to his master, and he points out that there are other reasons that Mash is a good guy, notwithstanding his secret keeping about his bunnyling. but in general, Mash seems to have this way to draw people to him and engender trust. So, you can't. It's just like if you have a beautiful sculpture, you're not going to destroy it. You want to, show it to people, right? Hey, that's the logic here. But Wahlberg also believes, on a more importantly, to citing, the argument his way, that Mash is vital to understanding Innocent Zero and therefore should not be executed. In spite of our visionary party pooper order going on about logic and the law and blah blah blah, Tim Nort steps in. No, he's really annoying. Our Temu Xehanort stepped in and ultimately rules that Mash may live, as he saved him and is magicless, and so he must be extraordinary, and has potential to be a weapon against Innocent Zero. But he has to prove himself by becoming the newest divine visionary. It's easy. Sure, no problem.
Just like as we left it.
Yeah, so basically that's what happened, and which is what Mash tells his friends later on, and confirming, of course, no magic. So everybody knows now. But that's okay. Dot wants to celebrate because he's not going to be executed, so let's all go into town for some fun. There's a cute little bit between the characters about picking street clothes. They seem to not be able to do it, but of course they manage to work it out. Mash puts on real clothes. Dot puts on real clothes. And there's a moment where Lance reveals that the visionary exam is going to be held sooner than usual, and he still intends to beat Mash for the sake of his sister. I feel like they have the same goal here, though. So does it actually matter? Does it? Anyway, on Lance's suggestion, the kids decide to go shopping for new wands. Enter the Harry Potter moment. Apparently, though, these wands enhance the magical ability of the user. So they're not just an avenue user. They can upgrade as you upgrade in your magical ability, which is a clever little device in the show. I liked that. And two of the characters test it out with, selecting wands when Mash is like, yeah, I'll try too. I don't know what he thought he was going to do when he stood in that circle, but he notices a metal wand on the floor and you can see like there's cracks in the floor and indication that it's heavily weighing down into the stone. And the shopkeeper says, "Oh, it's been sitting there for 1,000 years. It's so heavy, no one can pick it up, no, even with magic or muscle." And his friend, don't tell him that he's gonna try it.
This one is like my favorite part of season 2 every time it comes up.
This is my favorite part of the episode. Also, apparently, underneath it, there's rumored to be elf water, which is really great for making wands. And before he could say anything else, Mash just walks over and picks it up. He's like, "Oh, look, that was easy." And of course, he floods the shop with the elf water. And the shopkeeper's so grateful, he lets him take it for free. Yay! So he's got one now. I don't know what he's going to do with it. He's got a wand.
Hooray, free product.
Just you wait, it's gonna be great.
He's got a metal stick, guys. He's got a metal stick.
He has a metal stick.
It's gonna be like Thor. He's gonna give it to somebody and then won't be able to pick it up.
I like that. The Thor thing. Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, no, that could work. It's so heavy. He could like use it as
I
a
won't
weapon.
say
Basically.
what he does, but I will say that it is the funniest thing in the entire show.
Yeah, it's my favorite moment of this episode. But of course, our visionary party pooper, also known as Visionary Order, wants to keep Mash from taking down. So he sends one of his crazy minions, Margaret. Is that how you pronounced it? I didn't quite catch it. Margaret. Who's a flippin' weirdo. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what is that dude's.
I mean,
Margaret
that describes a few characters in the show, let's be honest.
Margaret is a character.
But like, he's all character, but like, I don't know what the character is except weird. He is almost lethal about taking on Mash, though, which okay, yeah, go for
He's
it, dude.
so gleeful, he shreds the piano.
Yes, I would love to see that mashup. Come on, like that's definitely gonna be epic. But Mash has decided to return home against advice, visit his foster dad, Regro, and his friends decide to join as well. Regro is overjoyed to see that Mash has made some friends, in addition to bringing a rival and a future wife, according to Lemon, and nobody else. That's just you, girl. It's all in your head. In the meantime, Margaret makes their way to Regro's house with their retinue and is stopped by none other than Rain, who had suspected all along that Order would try to sabotage Mash before the exam. What will happen next? What will happen next? Episode. I love ending on an uptick too. So since Paul is here, yay, Paul! Let's start with Paul. What'd you think about this episode?
You know, you should drink every time you mention my name. Let's see. Well, I'm still convinced that I'm still convinced that he has some kind of magical power. It's just different. But
he has a wand now, so
he does. If he starts throwing it around, then we know for sure. I'm interested to see what that wand does. Other than him somebody or like being like, "Here, take this," and then they're on the floor crying because they just broke their hand.
I hate that I can't tell you, but I won't tell you.
I'm sure it's something similar. I wouldn't be surprised. What else? That one dude, that four-eyed piece of shit, pisses me off.
Good term model.
Whatever. Douchebag. Douchebag is his name.
Everyone
Visionary
hates this guy.
Party. I call him Visionary Party Pooper because he clearly hates fun.
I'm almost convinced that he's working with Zero.
But the rules say this. You probably suck at
this-
Monopoly too, dude.
And this is why no one plays the not lawful neutral character.
Hmm. I still get the impression that he's like, I get the impression that he's, I don't want to say he's he's with Zero, but it's like, dude, you're not doing us any favors by sending somebody out to attack him. So I don't know if he has anything to do with Zero, but I'm interested to see if that happens in the future because it makes sense if he does. Because, well, actually, no, Zero wants Mashle, so I don't know if he would want.
It's clearly
Hmm.
just a case of racist society. They don't like non-magic people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Wouldn't it be more prejudice though, not racist? It would be more prejudice. I mean, it's all the same thing, but
Pretty much all the same thing. That kind of picking details aren't important.
no, it's not important. But yeah, it's going to be interesting going forward to see how that develops, and then once people figure out that he doesn't have magic, like how people are going to react. But again, I have to refer to the whole light the candle on fire, and somehow without using magic, he's able to do that with his strength. But is that strength versus strength coming from magic? Again, it's very confusing to me because it's like, okay, if it's not magic, where did he get it from? Because it's not just by lifting weights. I know that's the joke, but it can't be from just lifting weights. So
I'd like to, when I see him work out, I feel super like the very strong urge to go to the gym.
Maybe he did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and a 10-kilometer run every single day.
See, there you go.
I see what you
see,
did there.
ironically, I did make the joke when we talked about Mashle season 1. I did say, well, he might be One Punch Man in disguise, but you know, I don't know. It's going to be funny to see how this season develops. I'm glad that Toonami put it on the block. It's nice to actually have a season 2 of a show and not have to wait 5 years for it. So,
Amen to that.
yeah. So that's about it. I mean, that's all I have to say on that so far. Though I'm convinced that Mashle's crew is on crack. I'm just.
I mean, this whole world is on crack.
And it's not just crack. It's magical crack.
Magical crack. I like this now. Like they're all gleefully running around Regro's house, like
Yay!
yay!
I like
And
that
then
he
he's
broke
like-
back
and then
to
he's like-
yay, yay.
And then he's like, "Yeah, now I understand why they like Mashle." So
Also, like I consider the crew as like find someone that matches your freak.
he did say that, didn't he? Somebody
Yeah.
said it. Somebody said something along those lines. Yeah.
Well, Sam, you're up. What'd you think about episode 2 of Mashle?
It was like the first part is like, yeah, I like this guy, like a Wahlberg. Like I keep thinking Mark Wahlberg every time he's this guy. It's because they call him Wahlberg, and I'm just like Marky Mark. But he comes in and like he actually like seems like a decent guy, and he's like, we shouldn't be prejudiced and all that. And I'm just like, okay, so who's killing him? That's at least what it was going through my head. I'm like, it's always like these guys that like, actually want to change their messed up society that end up eating shit. But but then like they want to do like a whole visionary exam, and it's also funny because it's like they were going to prosecute him, but then because he ripped the parasite out of what's his name, he's like, oh wait, let's actually give him a chance because he just saved my life. it was just amazing. And then when they started hanging out, I found it so freaking funny that like he comes in with the workout gear, and then he's do what is it called? Like I don't know what that workout's called. Like when with the rolling thing and
The
like
ab
lunging.
wheel. Yeah, the ab
Yeah, the
wheel.
bag wheel. And it's just like like I was trying to spring noises every time he kept moving, and it's literally like that situation of like that one scene where the guy just walks into the room and everything's on fire and everyone's just out for blood. Um, and then it's just because then Dot and Mash are making fools of themselves, and then here comes Lance, and I already knew something was wrong with Lance. It's like he's gonna have something with his sister, isn't he? And then what do you know? Pulls out the shirt.
He
I
brings
just found it
merch
fun.
to Regro too. He brings merch.
Yeah, he's just like he's just like why? And it's funny because then like he shows up on screen and Mash is like sister complex guy.
Wear the
I just
t-shirt.
find like because I still yeah, it's just because I still keep thinking back to that moment in season one where he sees the locket and he's like, "You're a lolicon." It's like I think I need to report you to the police, and he's like, excuse me, I have a sister complex," and it's like that's not better.
His father, no.
But one one of the scenes that I keep dying at, it's such a small scene, but it's like something that keeps killing me, was like when they play the game. I don't know what it's called, but like they gotta tickle the koala's nose. The koala
Yeah.
sneezes the icicles, and that's how you play the first off. What kind of game is that? That's like tickling the koala's nose, and I just found it funny. The koala has a little tissue
Koala.
box on hand, and then like, oh, so here's how you play the game. All right, you got to do it like this, and he's like, okay, and then he freaking hits Dot's head, and he's like, oh, don't worry, now I'm gonna show you how I do it, and he does, and he hits Mash's head, and they just start fighting each other. I was laughing. Mm. And then the whole situation, I found the whole situation with the one interesting, and then yeah, it's funny because then it's like, oh, Mash wants to try, and it's like, oh, how's he gonna do this? How's he gonna BS his way through this? And then oh, here's one randomly placed on the ground that he's just gonna pick up, which honestly, I wasn't thinking too much about, but like, I guess he uses it later. I want him at some point to use it like a baseball bat. I don't know where. I just want to see him use it like a baseball bat.
I want him to throw
Um,
it at people. I want him to throw it
yes,
at
that too.
enemies.
You want to know what I wish they would do this, but he couldn't because he has no magic. But use it like Thor's hammer to where he could just throw it and then summon it with his hands, just bring it back to him.
Here's an
Uh,
idea. Here's an idea. What if he rubs it so hard that it actually electricity comes out of it and he has lightning?
The
That's-
electric shine bolt.
There you go.
yeah. And then like when they visit his house, the one thing that cracked me up was like, okay, like he has a colorful cast of friends, and his father's like, he has friends. Oh my god, I'm so happy. And then Lemon comes in. He's like, we're gonna be married soon. He has a fiance, and I just what kills me is that Mash didn't do anything. Is like she just nonchalantly told his father that, oh, we're gonna get married, and he just let it happen, and I'm just like, brother, is like normally someone would step in and be like, no, but now I'm just like his father thinks he's engaged now, which I just what yet again like probably spur of the moment, but I don't know. That just stayed in my head. Is like she just said that she's his fiance, and like he didn't intervene once, and then the whole like I don't because it's like funny. Like I guess it's like running gag. They're just running around. He's going like yay, yay, yay. But it was a nice moment because then we had the scene where like his father is saying, so like I never was able to take him outside and all that. So to see that he has friends and everything, it's really good to see. One thing I forgot to mention was like also like is the cop like I don't know his name, but the cop that like ambushed them in the first episode, like just chilling at his house now because he's just there and he's like, "Yo, what's up? How you doing?" And he's like, "Aren't didn't you blackmail him?"
I guess they're
It's
friends
like,
now.
but it's also like, wasn't the I could be mistaken because it's been a long time since I saw the first episode, but wasn't his whole thing was that like, oh, go to the academy, become a visionary, or else I'm gonna expose your secret. But yet his secret's already revealed. What's there to what's there to do? What's there to threaten him with now?
I guess
Uh,
he grew on them or something.
yeah, that because that was
Became
because then
buddies.
yeah,
Laser,
because then
any
there,
thoughts?
It's a thing.
He's just part of the little unit now. He's just kind of there now, and they're all cool with each other.
but
It's
yeah, just oh, sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna because just to wrap up my thoughts real quick, it was like overall very funny episode, cute kind of. Also see that like he has friends now, and his father is really liking his situation right now. But I guess like their homecoming is gonna be short lived because what's his name's gonna crash the party. But overall, great episode. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. Uh, and that's really all I got.
Yeah, really love how lighthearted everything is. Steven, any thoughts about this episode 2 of Mashle?
I
know
like
you
it.
love the heavy wand.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that everyone he's gonna flick it at someone, it's gonna like knock him out.
I sense a
But
gift in our future.
yeah, it's a gift. It's a good gift. It's gonna be a good gift to put on our Toonami Faithful
Exactly. Exactly.
social
Oh
media.
yes,
If you follow us
there
at
is
Toonami News,
definitely going to be something for social media in the near future.
um, with that, what Paul was saying was interesting. That maybe his magic is that's what his magic is, muscles. Strength and all. I do want to say I don't think so. I think that's a bit of willpower and everything else. Like Mash knows how to do things. He understands how to do all that stuff. But it's like it's also that thing of like he's a dumb shonen protagonist, like dumber than, Goku. And he's like that's why they all tell him, "No, Mash, don't pick that wand up," because they know he's going to pick it up. Something's going to happen and it's like the fight's going to ensue. Uh they know what's going to happen.
Mash is a very predictable character in terms of what is he going to do.
Yeah.
He's going to do the dumbest thing he can think of.
Yep, the dumbest thing, but to get the quickest result. And why? He wants the cream puff. That's it. That's it. That's
Now
all.
he
That's
makes me want cream puffs. Like I never thought I cared for them, but all I can think about is cream puffs now.
Legitimately, when I started watching this with a friend a while back, we bought cream puffs, and I never had them before. I've had them because of this show.
I can't stop thinking about them, man. Cream
Yeah.
puffs on the
Ice
brain.
cream.
they are pretty good. I know how to make them. They're hard, but
Send
easy
them
to
my
make.
way. Send them my way.
But still, it's a fun show that doesn't take itself too seriously, and there are moments where it's like serious, and it's like, what is this show doing? And then all of a sudden, it's like, no, it's Mash. He'll deal with it. Like they try to like kill him. They try to do everything, and he's like, "Oh, you were trying to do what?" And that's it. That's like the most reaction you get out of him. Now, I don't know. It's a fun show. It takes your mind off of like all the seriousness of the block and everything else going on. Same with One Piece, and it's like, yeah, just let Mash be Mash because it's fun. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's a great break in the heavy dark drama between Bleach and Blue Exorcist. So I mean Blue Exorcist does have some levity to it, but Bleach is pretty much all the darkness as we went into in great detail last week.
It is a good thing we have Mashle for this part of Bleach.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Laser, Favorite moment of episode 2, aside from the wand being the obvious one.
The wand is the obvious one.
Yeah.
My other favorite moment is literally just Margaret as a whole. He is way too funny to watch. It's just like, who is
This
this
character,
guy?
like, what is your major malfunction, sir? What?
Wait, this guy be able without using magic? Time to shred the keyboard.
Yeah,
Oh god,
like an expensive
Margaret
piano,
is
by the way.
one of my favorite characters for the villain side. And if anyone has any Final Fantasy knowledge, the comparison
I
that
do.
Archangel and I gave to Margaret when we talked about Mashle season 2 was Kefka.
Oh, wow. Okay, that bad, eh?
Oh yes, this guy is. You
As
have
a
not seen the depths
psycho.
of this. You have not seen the depths of this crazy yet.
So he's a psycho, is what you're saying. I can expect a full psycho. Oh, good. I
Uh,
cannot wait. I can't wait.
Kind of. What you can expect is absolutely insane.
Yes. Great. Anyone else have any other thoughts they want to share about Mashle before we wrap things up?
I feel like I had something and then I lost my train of thought.
It happens to me every day. Every day. Koala snot sneeze scene. I only didn't mention it in the recap because, like, koala.
That is literally the best scene for me personally. It's just
Again, I thought that was mean. That poor koala just trying to live his little snot-free life, and all these weirdos are tickling his nose. Like, leave the koala alone, god damn it.
but he has a tissue box. Maybe he's getting paid. Maybe this is how he brings food to the table.
All right, sure. We'll make
Like,
that
what are
part
the
of the
rules
canon.
of that game? Like, just make them sneeze and hit the darts? I mean, is that animal cruelty? Like,
Think
what?
sounds like animal cruelty to me.
Like, I mean, is he enjoying it, or is he just, trying to sneeze to live or something? There's something weird going on with that game. Like, it's underhanded and dirty, and it's like they brought him out there. It's like going to the carnival and like, am I really going to win at any of this stuff?
The dark side of koala snot bubbles.
Yeah.
Also, I just remembered what I wanted to say now. Can we just appreciate the fact that Adult Swim did not cut the opening?
Thank God.
Yes.
Because I need to do that
This
dance.
intro. This intro is absolutely magical.
How else can I embarrass myself?
You need to do that dance on String Hero.
No.
We live in a day and age to where we have two Creepy Nuts banger openings playing on the block, and neither of them are cut down.
It's a good time to be alive, man.
It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
I feel like the sacrifice is Bleach and Blue Exorcist this opening, though.
Yeah.
Daima, too, because Daima only played its full opening once.
Yeah, but Demo's on rerun now, so it's not that bad.
Well, I wanted to add a comment from Mr. AJ Tibb from the chat. We were talking about the police guy. He said, I think Mash has 2 dads now.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's what it kind of feels like.
He is just kind of there now. It's kind of like he lives here now.
It's funny
He
because
lives there.
it's funny because I think back to season 1 to where when he was taking the entrance exam and like the cop and his dad were like spying and his father was like, "Oh, I hope he's doing okay." And he's like, "Yeah." And the cop goes like, "Yeah, I'm really worried." And the dad's like, "Excuse me?" He's like, I mean, I'm just worried that he can't get in."
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely dad number 2 now, I guess. I hope that they'll have a lot of little cute scenes like that where he's just like there and he's kind of around, It'll be in the rest of the series, hopefully. Well, unless you have anything else to add, Paul, I'm gonna do some house cleaning. Yes? No?
Do I have anything to add? I don't know. I don't think I have anything to add. No.
No.
Other than I want
Well-
to see Thor's wand soon.
Yeah. Let's hashtag Thor's wand, Mashle.
Just
If-
give him a
That'll
moment
become-
to where he summons it like Thor summons his hammer.
Yes.
That'll become the
If you-
new giant robots on surfboards.
Hmm.
I promise
Well-
you cannot see its use coming, but you'll love it.
I feel like Mash is pretty creative, so it'll be interesting to see how he utilizes it in his future fights with ultra powered up magical peoples. If you are interested in seeing Thor's wand, you can email us at podcast@toonamifaithful.com. Tell us all about it, what you thought about this episode, what you think about this episode of the podcast, and any thoughts in general that you have about us. But please keep it nice, people. We're still people. We have feelings. Not that that's been an issue before. If you don't already, please follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Toonami Faithful Podcast and on Twitter at Toonami Podcast. You can listen to this episode and every other episode on just about everything, including Apple Podcasts, CastBox, Deezer, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Overcast, Podbay, Podbean, Podcast Addict, Radio.com, Spotify, TuneIn, and wow, I don't think there's anything we're missing, honestly, Paul. We really try to just hit all the spots.
I would hope not. I went to great lengths to put it on everything that anybody's using. So
Yes. And if you've missed any of our past episodes where we've talked about Blue Exorcist, talked about Bleach last week, or talking about Mashle on the first season of Mashle, you can check it out on the place where the secret codes are found for another Adult Swim famous show at soundcloud.com. I'm talking about you, Lazarus. You will always be the referenced. Always be the referenced. And if you don't already, you can get the latest news by following us at Toonami News on Twitter, where you can read news, views, and reviews at ToonamiFaithful.com. And if you want to help us support the website, please feel free to check us out at patreon.com/ToonamiFaithful. Sam, where can they find you?
So you can follow me on Twitter at Samster299. I have a Blue Sky Samster299. I have a YouTube channel, Samster299, where my bread and butter is Toonami archiving, but occasionally I'd like to toss out some original stuff. I will plug that a while back I did a discussion with Sketch and Steve and Sam from Toonami Squad for a show on Crunchyroll called To Be Hero X. It's a really, really great show. Give it a watch for the love of God, it's so good. It's so good that I wanted to do a discussion on it. So I have that discussion on the channel. And this is pretty old, but I'll keep plugging this in my tier list video. That was a massive project. So like I will keep plugging that till the cows come home. Aside from that, I also host the Toonami Squad podcast sessions, and you could give those a listen on YouTube, on a Spotify and Apple Podcast. We just did our recent episode, I want to say a week or two ago. We recorded that literally moments before we got suspended on Twitter. It's back now, thankfully, but that was certainly a night to record a podcast.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
Paul, where can they find you?
Let's see. You can find me trying to drink. You can find me
Alcohol?
trying to stop laser for no apparent reason.
Uh-oh.
I do
don't
that
know.
usually around 1 a.m. Where are you,
It's
Laser?
true.
I need someone to text.
It is absolutely true.
Because he's always awake.
Okay then.
Yes, I'm a night owl.
He is. And I am too, apparently.
So you're a night cat?
I'm a night cat, as all cats are. I try my
Hmm.
best to go to bed early, but inevitably 1 a.m. comes around and I'm awake.
Well, I will not be up at 1 a.m. So you can find me on Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it, and Blue Sky. All you got to do is search for Paul Pascrillo. On either one of them, you can find me there. As usual, you can email me if you want, which nobody really does, but paulbascrillo@toonamifaithful.com. You can email me there. And yeah, that's about it. And Kuro, where
Laser,
can they
thank.
find you? Oh,
Oh well, you can find me on Blue Sky and on Twitter at Happy Kuro Kitty. But you can also find Laser where?
You can find me on the Simuldub Saints podcast. That's Simuldub Saints on Twitter, Facebook, and the podcast itself is on YouTube and Spotify podcasts.
And bringing up the rear, Stream and Steven, where can they find you?
Oh my gosh, I'm bringing up the rear finally. Yeah, you can find me on like every social media platform under MXA Ghost. You want to follow me, you can go ahead and do so. If you don't, I don't really care. Other than that, I'm just doing some streaming stuff. Who knows
Yeah,
what I stream?
which we deeply appreciate all of your streaming. Thank you, listeners. We do so appreciate you tuning in. For those who tuned in live, we love to have you. You're our little live crew, and anyone else who decides to tune in live, we do occasionally read your comments if you decide to drop in and chat. For anyone who listens to the podcast outside of that, we appreciate your listenership. We wouldn't be able to do this without you, so thank you so much. Thank you for making this podcast come together, everybody. Peace, and we're out.